Ladies and gentlemen, the war against whining starts now. If you're busy complaining, you're not competing. And if you're not competing, you're losing. Period. Nobody wins by pointing fingers or narrating their pain. Winners don't sit around explaining why they can't. They get up and do it anyway.
Eighth doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects execution. So here's the cold truth. Every second you spend whining about your situation is a second stolen from the grind. A moment wasted when you could be pushing harder, faster, stronger. This is not the era of the victim mindset. This is the era of the relentless. You've got goals? Then prove it. You've got potential? Then show it. No more crying. It's time to compete. Because the world only remembers the one who finished first, not the one who had the most excuses.
We live in a culture that sometimes glorifies complaint as if it's a form of activism. But let's be real. Complaining doesn't move the needle. Complaining doesn't build the business. Complaining doesn't pay the bills. Action does. Effort does. Competition does. Do you know who you're really in competition with? The version of you that didn't hit snooze. The version of you that went to the gym. The version of you that made the sales call, wrote the business plan, did the work when nobody was watching. That's the version you're up against. And if you're not beating them, then you're falling behind. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Champions don't wait for the stars to align. They grind in the chaos. They don't complain that it's raining. They train in the storm. Every unfair thing that's happened to you is either your reason to quit or your reason to rise. Pick one.
The reason most people fail isn't because they didn't have a chance. It's because they chose comfort over challenge, complaint over competition. They let weakness speak louder than willpower. They convinced themselves they couldn't because it was easier than trying and failing. You've got to get ruthless about your mission. You've got to protect your dream from laziness, excuses, and distractions, like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Your future self is watching. Will you give them a legacy or just leftover excuses?
This hour is about rewiring your mindset. From here on out, when something gets hard, don't complain. Compete. When someone doubts you, don't cry. Compete. When you're tired, don't fold. Compete. This is the mentality that separates the average from the exceptional.
Replace excuses with execution. Let me ask you something. When was the last time an excuse moved your life forward? When was the last time your complaints brought you progress? The answer is never. Excuses are chains, and complaining is just another way to stay stuck in the same spot.
If you want to win, if you want to dominate your space, then you've got to replace every excuse with action and every complaint with execution. The people who win in life, they've got the same problems you do. They just refuse to let those problems own them. They compete regardless. And that's the mindset that will separate you from the masses. You don't get stronger by talking about how weak you feel. You get stronger by showing up day after day, especially when it's hard. Complaining feeds your weakness, but discipline feeds your growth.
And if you truly want something, really want it, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. There are two types of people in this world: the ones who whine about the weight and the ones who lift it anyway.
the ones who talk about what they could do, and the ones who actually do it.
Your habits define your future. Your attitude determines how far you'll go. And your mindset, that's your engine. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't compete, it's useless. Look around. Somebody out there is working with less than you, less support, less money, less time.
And they're still making it happen. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need relentless execution. You need consistency that doesn't depend on how you feel. The grind doesn't care about your mood. It only rewards movement. So today, stop saying I'm tired. Say I'm ready. Stop saying I can't. Say I will.
Get rid of the noise in your mind telling you that you're not enough. The truth is, you are enough, but only if you show up and act like it, compete like it, deliver like it. If your goals mean something to you, then prove it through your actions. Because actions don't lie. You can't talk your way into greatness. You have to grind your way into it. You have to be willing to outwork the old version of yourself, outlast your excuses, and outcompete your complaints. This hour is your challenge. Eliminate one complaint, crush one excuse, replace it with action. Show up.
Put in the work. Keep going when it's inconvenient, because that's what separates winners from whiners. Execution. Pressure builds warriors, not excuses. You think pressure is your enemy? No, pressure is your advantage. It's the arena where warriors are born.
The weak crack under it, but the focused, the obsessed, use it to sharpen their edge. Every time you feel the weight of responsibility, remember this. It's not there to crush you. It's there to mold you. You don't become unstoppable by avoiding difficulty.
You become unstoppable by confronting it. Excuses run from pressure. Competitors run toward it. And if you want to build the kind of life most people only dream about, you've got to train yourself to lean into the storm. You see, pressure reveals your truth. It doesn't lie.
It exposes the difference between the ones who say they want it and the ones who show they want it.
So when life starts
But while others cry about it, you've got a choice. You've got a choice. Use it or lose it. Pressure builds character, it builds grit. And most importantly, it builds belief. The kind that doesn't waver when life hits hard. Complaining is your comfort zone talking. It's a language of surrender. But competitors? They don't speak that. Their language is made of sweat, repetition, and fire. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They adapt, they push, they rise. You want greatness? Then you better start developing pressure tolerance. That means showing up when your muscles are sore, when your mind is tired, when your motivation is gone. Because pressure is what separates dreams from reality. Pressure is what reveals who's faking it and who's building it. Don't avoid that way. Carry it. Carry it with pride, with power, with purpose. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who doesn't flinch when everything gets hard. Be that person. Let the world throw everything it's got at you. Let them doubt you. Let the odds stack up. And when they do, smile. Because that's your fuel. No one remembers the one who made excuses, but they always remember the one who rose under pressure and delivered anyway. Today, you become that person. No complaints, no distractions. Turn your pain into power. Everyone wants the reward, but no one wants the pain. Everyone wants the shine, but no one wants to bleed for it. Let me make it clear. Your pain is your passport to greatness. That struggle you're trying to avoid, that hardship you're whining about, that's the exact thing that's going to shape you, strengthen you, and separate you. Stop running from pain. Use it. Because every complaint is a wasted opportunity. Every excuse is a missed rep. But when you decide to turn pain into power, you become untouchable.
Well, stop breaking down and start raking through. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. It's how the world filters out the pretenders from the real ones. If you're feeling pain, that means you're still in the fight. You're still breathing. That means you've still got a shot. But you better make a decision. Are you going to cry about it, or are you going to compete through it? When most people feel pain, they tap out. They throw in the towel and blame everything but themselves. But competitors, real ones, they smile at it because they know what that pain means. It means they're getting better. It means they're being tested. And they refuse to let it break them. You've got to start looking at pain like fuel. Every moment you wanted to quit but didn't, that's where greatness lives. Every drop of sweat, every ache, every failure, that's the cost of success. And if you're not willing to pay it, then step aside, because someone else will.
Someone who's hungrier. Someone who doesn't complain. Someone who's willing to compete, even when everything hurts. Your job is not to be comfortable. Your job is to evolve. And evolution doesn't happen in ease. It happens in pain. You want to grow? Then suffer with purpose. You want to dominate?
Then stop whining and start working. Discipline hurts. Effort hurts. But so does regret. So pick your pain. Remember this: pressure plus pain equals power. The people who reached the top didn't get there without being broken a few times, but they rebuilt. They showed up broken, tired, scared, and still competed. You've got to find that version of yourself, the one that doesn't need things to be fair or easy, the one that gets it done regardless. Pain will either define you or drive you. Make your choice. Earn the right to win. You want to win? You want to be the best? Then you better earn it. This world doesn't hand out championships. It doesn't reward wishful thinking. It only respects grit, grind, and relentless execution. Stop acting like success owes you something. It doesn't. In every second you spend complaining, someone else is putting in work. Someone else is lifting while you're doubting. Someone else is building while you're blaming. If you want to win, earn the right to win. Every single day. Nobody's giving you a crown. You have to take it. And that means work. Well, that means putting your head down when no one is watching. That means waking up when your body says no. That means waking up when your body says no. That means pushing forward when everything in your life says quit. You don't get to skip the grind and still get the glory. There's a price for success, and if you're not paying it, don't expect results. You want to build a legacy? You want to break generational limits? Then you better show up relentless. Every excuse you've ever made is one more reason someone else passed you. While you were sitting down, feeling sorry for yourself, someone else was earning it. You don't get to win just because you want it. You win because you work when it hurts. You win because you go harder when it would be easier to stop. You win because you choose discipline over comfort every single day. That's what competitors do. They earn it. Let me be clear. Desire without discipline is just a dream. And dreams without effort stay dreams. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't talent. It's obsession, consistency, and the refusal to complain. You want to change your life? Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop asking when it's going to get easier. It won't. You just have to get tougher. When you earn the right to win, nothing and no one can take it from you. Because you didn't cheat the work. You didn't cut corners. You didn't make excuses. You got in the arena. You bled for it. You hurt for it. And you owned it. Winners don't wait for conditions to be perfect. They compete in chaos. They compete under pressure. They compete when it's unfair. Because they know one thing. If I keep showing up with fire in my chest, eventually the world has to give me what I've earned. So don't you dare ask, why me? Ask, what now? Don't whine. Compete. Winners train. Losers explain. Here's the truth. You're either training or explaining. There is no in between. You're either putting in the work or you're crafting a story for why you didn't. While some are sweating in silence, others are out here telling tales. And you better decide which one you are, because life won't wait for you to figure it out. Winners train. Losers explain. That's the final truth. You don't need pity. You don't need sympathy. You need fire. You need discipline. You need to stop playing small because you're afraid of failing big. Everyone wants the success story. Few want the struggle behind it. You know what separates the successful from the stagnant? Commitment when motivation dies. Because motivation will fade. That's a fact. But discipline, that's forever. That's what real competitors lean on. That's what gets you up when your body says no. That's what gets you out the door when it's cold, dark, and lonely. Complaining doesn't build results. Excuses don't pay off. Action does. And you don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're quiet while you build. You don't need to answer the haters, the doubters, or the lazy ones who mock your drive. Let your results speak. Let your consistency shout louder than their noise. Let your discipline be so sharp that it cuts through every doubt ever thrown your way. There's a clock ticking over your head. Every minute wasted on self-pity is a minute someone else used to get ahead. You think life is fair? Think again. But guess what? You don't need fair. You need hunger. You need clarity. You need the guts to say, I will outwork, outlast, and outcompete everyone who thought I wouldn't make it. Because when it's all said and done, no one remembers the complainers. No one honors the excuses, but they remember the fighters, the grinders, the disciplined few who refused to quit. You have to decide, do you want comfort or do you want conquest? Do you want attention or achievement? Are you here to be seen or are you here to be great? This isn't about proving the world wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You were built not to whine, not to shrink, not to wait, but to compete. Now is the time. No more waiting, no more explaining. If you're tired of being average, then stop acting like it. Get up, lock in, show up every single day like your future depends on it, because it does. The world doesn't owe you success, but you owe it to yourself to chase it with everything you've got. Don't complain, compete.
and let the scoreboard speak.